To that point, G, if we only receive information but don't seek it, then we'll always be misinformed.
Man, real life. Like, just this is gonna be my ongoing beef with school, but just think about like how school has been set up for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the information that has been given to you, history wise, that is a complete fucking lie. And they will really have you out here in these streets believing that shit was true and going to bat and fighting about that shit amongst your own people. So think about, okay, that's the establishment portion of things. Now think about the streets, and think about the streets that just get information passed down to them from old heads, or if you don't even get it from old heads, you just get it from peer groups, and the shit that you do off of false information, off of somebody just having complete control over you and getting that trust from you early, to the point that your loyalty is binded by something that is a complete fucking lie, because you haven't done your due diligence to find out the truth. It's dangerous, man. It's completely dangerous, man. And it's something that as I'm unraveling a good amount of just our history and how much shit has been covered up over the years, how much things have been ours that was completely taken from us, and then plastered another name on it and put statues up about them motherfuckers all over the U.S. Like, it's nutso the love that we're supposed to have for a location that has done this much damage to a group of people. With us. You know what I mean? Like, but like I said earlier, that's all coming down to just being misinformed. I think as we inform ourselves better of a lot of this shit that's taking place, the love that we have for ourselves and also for the next man that looks like us will increase, and also the efficiency and the work, that the output will increase as well.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, because I really believe that as a whole, it's getting harder and harder for me to have an ill to have a ill will towards someone that has not taken the time to do their own work. And I don't know that coming into, I usually know that in speech and in communication, but it gives me a different perspective on who I'm dealing with and when to be cutthroat and when to be more empathetic, and towing the line on and having the control over which one you are at any given time. That's the next part of the journey, I think, on like just overall as a people, what we have to look forward to.
Damn. I keep saying it. Working on in terms of working on empathy for people who present themselves as enemies, not an actual enemy though, but present themselves as enemies. And in my brain, there's not a reasonable man or woman, black, that can have access to the information. I've been fortunate enough to have access to some great mentors, man. Over the past, I'll just go over a lifetime for sure, but at the very least, this last like 12 years. Gentlemen and women that I met in college, post college, and the last few years in terms of just this pursuit of entrepreneurship. And there's not there for me, there's no way people can have access to this information and not have a complete overhaul of your perspective, your outlook, and most importantly, how you go about engaging with fellow man or woman. I'm telling you, fam, like that whole bullshit concept of leaning on ego and needing to be right for the sake of just massaging some shit that is just false. Bruh, I never felt more liberated than that shit being killed off. And just constantly being like, damn, like just an open book, right? And so now being at that place of like, where do we go from here? And now there's a whole new fight because there's this patience that you are now responsible for holding because everybody hasn't had access to that information. Like we're 100% responsible. When we do the show, we didn't check in about time until this morning. You were the first one to text early this morning. I was like, damn, not only do I feel responsible to you two, but I feel responsible for the listeners that we do have, again, to keep carving out this space to share the information that I feel is essential to our advancement. And two, open to being wrong about that, but how could it be? When I know the work that you're doing, I know the work that Lex is doing, and I know the work that the people that y'all talk to and are amongst are doing in terms of liberating us first. Man, I sat in 3 meetings this week for video treatments, for development of a show, and for a collaboration project, and had to say to people on the other end of those calls how clear my intentions are to not add to producing trauma and that be all black people see. Like it ain't no art to that, fam. Like I'm sorry. I genuinely feel that way because there's so many more beautiful stories to tell in the landscape of that, and we think about it all day long. So even if there is some gore and some dark side, like you got a responsibility to explain that further. I believe that, and if you can't, my nigga, go find a new fucking art form or go find a new way to express. But that can't be it, because I know too many niggas out here getting it for real. I love one of my favorite bars I heard. The kid was like, every nigga I know take care of his kids. I won't forget that. Because that ain't been the narrative that's been told, to your point of just misinformation. Had niggas scared of fatherhood for real. If I'm being honest. Had niggas scared of union. And that ain't nothing to be fearful of. Something to look forward to, but that ain't nothing to be fearful of. And so now you're going, well, goddamn, what else was wrong? What else was they capping about? And you come to find out a whole hell of a lot that was intentional. And it's hard not to think of it as such. So that's why in these meetings I'm going so hard and having to be willing to walk away from projects that financially nigga might need, but you're like, yeah, it's not worth it. It's so not. I'll shoot it out of pocket. I'll make it out of pocket. I'll shoot it out of pocket. I'll make it out of pocket, and almost have it be, and almost run the risk of having it be a lesser production, quote unquote, to maintain the integrity, if that makes sense. Like, oh, if we can't get the red camera and the cranes and the permits, nigga, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. Not selling my people and how I want to capture them and tell their stories, because what are my kids gonna say If they got to watch, there's no, God rest his soul, John Singleton, Boys in the Hood, beautiful movie, but I don't want to make that film. I have no desire to make that film. Make a love story though, about a black couple that knew they should have been together, that went through hella shit and did the work individually, and had different discussions in and around the business of marriage and union, the business of raising kids, the commitment, the responsibility. Like, can we have that conversation that the white folks get to? It's 40 rom-coms a year that get greenlit and get massive budgets to get told, and don't nobody white get killed in them. And our parents had to send us to schools where these white folks was printing books where they was lying to niggas, bro. Somebody was paying for them textbooks, man. That's some gangster shit.
Bro.
Hey, we just go, hey, can you make up a story real quick? I got a bag for you. Like, bro, that's the call. Like, now that I see how corporate get down, I know that's how them calls went. Hey, fam, you are a great storyteller. Can you make up a story about some slaves real quick so I can put it in a chapter of this history book and send it across the world?
We gonna rent out a studio, dress some people up. We gonna take a picture, then we gonna Photoshop it to make it look like it was an old picture, and then print it out in the book.
Hey,
bro,
they're sick.
Hey, if they could do it for the moon landing, they for sure could do it for a slave film.
Hey, wait. So, you know, in the history books, how they have the illustration reenactments? Mm-hmm. Does it ever say illustrated by in the notes, in the table of contents? It has to, right?
Got to.
Okay, I'm done.
It might say that in the picture.
I'm done.
It might say, he might have been like, "No, I need my credit right there. I need them to remember me."
Hey, copyright, nigga.
Fam then watermarked the slave reenactment picture in the history book.
They just stamped it in there, bro.
Hey, that's crazy.
This is the 13th edition by now.
You know what?
We added all kind of shit in here by now.
I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I'm so done.